Hey everybody, it's Beth Helvey with Control Real Estate. I hope you're doing well today. It is Tuesday, April 26, 2022. Today I want to talk to you about being an investor and buying a rental property. The reason I'm saying this is you've probably heard that there are a lot of people buying up rental properties right now, mostly because the rental business, especially in Southwest Florida, is very lucrative. It is lucrative on an annual basis. It's for our snowbirds, it's for Airbnbs. It is very lucrative, and quite frankly, we do not have enough rentals. A lot of people rent here either seasonally or annually, and we just flat out don't have enough. So even though that prices are a little high for some people, the rental side of that business is actually quite lucrative. So not everybody who buys a rental are these big conglomerates like you've been reading about in the newspapers. A lot of them are independent people. They own 1 to 5, 6, 7, 8 properties. This is their portfolio. This is their investment portfolio. And this is how they are managing essentially their retirement and their future. Here's what I'm hearing a lot of. Because there are so many people buying rentals, and the articles you're going to read are going to blame the iBuyers, which are the larger corporations, because so many people are buying them. Condo associations and homeowners associations are concerned about the quality of what's going to happen. So renters, and this is just, something, renters have a bad reputation for not taking care of their property, okay? Not all renters are like this. Trust me, I've been in a lot of rental homes. I know not all renters are like this. I used to be a renter myself. But there are certain people who feel like that if you have a renter in place, especially an annual renter, not necessarily a snowbird, that the quality of the property is going to decline. In other words, they're not going to take care of the property, and they're trying to keep that from happening. There are a handful of communities around Sarasota, Manatee area that I know that are talking about changing their rules. So the current rule is, in a lot of these communities, that you do not have to own the property for any amount of time. You can close on a Tuesday and have your tenant move in on a Wednesday. You can do that. Now, what some of these properties are doing is they're trying to change the rule so that you have to own the property for 12 to 24 months, depending on where you go, before you can rent it out. And the idea with this is they're going to keep out people who are investors, because an investor doesn't want a property sitting for a year before they can start making money on it. And that's how they do that. We have a lot of a lot of condo associations that do that already, where you have to own for a certain amount of time before you can rent it out. And that is the whole point of it, is to keep the property from being overrun by investors. What does that mean for you? Well, it means this. In order for this rule to pass, typically speaking, the majority of the communities have to have an 80% positive vote. 80% of the homeowners have to vote yes in order for this rule to be changed, because you're changing a part of the condo doc or the homeowners association doc. You're changing it. It has to go to vote. This is not something that the board members can push through. You have to have a relative 80% consensus with all of the homeowners. So is an investor going to vote yes? Yeah, they are. I'll tell you why. They're going to vote yes because then they're the only game in town. So if you have a community of 150 properties and 10 of those are investor owned, you're darn tootin' that they're going to keep it that way because they're the only game in town. Now, if they're intending to buy more, that's another story. If you are someone who is buying a property, and this happens a lot, I have a lot of people who buy properties and they will rent them out while they wait for retirement. Maybe they're 2 years out, maybe they're 3 years out. So what they're going to do is they're going to rent it on a snowbird basis, or whomever can pick it up, just to kind of offset the costs. This includes those people too, not just our professional investors, okay? What this means is this. If you're under contract and this new ruling passes before you close, you will not be able to rent the property out, okay? If the ruling is passed after you close, you're grandfathered in. So you're an investor, or you are close to retirement and you want to offset your costs. What are you going to do? One of the things you can do is, while you're going through the process of deciding whether or not you want to purchase a property and you're reviewing all those condo docs, which you should be doing, you should be reviewing those, ask for the minutes. The minutes of the previous board meetings will tell you if a proposed change is going to be sometime on a board meeting, because it has to have a board meeting first. There are logistics, there are procedures that this has to follow. And it is possible that if it is on the minutes, it could come up. And then you can discover or try to find out what the process is going to be. Is it on the agenda for the next board meeting? Because in the typical set of condo docs you get, the agenda for the board meeting isn't included. The minutes aren't included. So as an investor or somebody who just wants to help offset your costs because you're only using your condo part-time, make sure you ask for the minutes and make sure you ask for any upcoming board meeting agendas. Okay. Now, you're a potential purchaser. Can you go to a board meeting? You sure can. If you want to go to a board meeting, you can go to a board meeting. They'll let you in if you're under contract. Okay. And if it is in the minutes or on the agenda for this new proposal to get passed, you need to find out what the procedure is if you intend to rent your property out and make sure that it passes after you close. Because if that passes before you close and you're expecting to rent that property out, you're not going to get to. So there's some legal action you can take, but it's tricky and it's expensive. So most people opt to not do that. So if you have any questions on this, let me know. Just if you're an investor or even if you're just somebody who wants to offset your costs and you're looking to some of our condo communities, check out the minutes, check out the board agendas, and make sure that if you do intend to rent out your property, you will be able to, because I'm starting to see talk in the community and I'm starting to see waves of this happening because people are trying to protect their own personal investments. So this is Beth Helvey with Couture Real Estate. I hope you have a wonderful day. It is going to be in the upper 80s today. If you have the opportunity to get outside and get some sunshine, I encourage you to do so. Wear your sunscreen, drink a lot of water, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye, everybody.